Nothing you are about to hear is a theory. It is documented, it is verifiable, and it has been hiding in plain sight. 1995, a man named Fritz Springmeier published a book called Bloodlines of the Illuminati. He named 13 families he claimed sit at the apex of global power. In 2003, he was convicted of an armed robbery and sentenced to roughly 9 years in federal prison. His supporters called it frame up. The court called it justice. Either way, the name he listed have only grown more powerful since. Today we are not going to talk about conspiracy theories. We are going to talk about ownership. Let's start with the family that built the modern world and then bent it to their advantage. The Rothschilds. Starting in 18th century Frankfurt, Mayor Amschel Rothschild built the first truly international banking network, placing his 5 sons in London, Paris, Frankfurt, Vienna, and Naples. By the time Napoleon fell, the family financial network spanned empires. The Rockefeller at its peak, Standard Oil controlled 90% of all oil refining in United States. John D. Rockefeller became the wealthiest private individual in American history. His fortune adjusted for today exceeded $400 billion. But here is the part no one teaches in the school. These aren't just rich people. They are dynasty builders. The same family trust, foundation, and holding companies that exist in 1920s still exist today, just with the different faces, different name on the letterhead, and a far more complex web of subsidiaries. In the fiscal year 2024, the United States paid approximately $870 billion in the interest on its national debt. That's more than it spent on national defense, more than Medicare, more than veterans, education, transportation combined. Where does that money go? To bondholders, banks, institutional investors, the same class of institutions that have always financed government. Now consider this. 3 investment firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, are collectively the largest shareholders in 88% of all S&P 500 companies. They hold 20 to 25% of the voting share in the corporate America, from Apple to ExxonMobil to your local bank. The same 3 funds sit at the top of the shareholder list. This isn't conspiracy, it is just math. And the math tells you that the ownership of the global economy has never been more concentrated than it is right now. You have never heard of the companies who feed the world, and that's exactly how they like it. The ABCD companies: Archer Daniels Midland, Punch, Cargill, and Louis Dreyfus collectively control 70 to 90% of the global grain trade at their peak. A recent figure from the European Parliament Agriculture Committee put their current share at 50% as Chinese competitor COFCO has entered the field. Cargill alone generated $165 billion in revenue in 2022. It is privately owned, meaning it publishes no public accounts, answers to no shareholders, and employs to no PR team to explain itself. These companies don't just trade grain, they own the ports, the silos, The birds, the ships, the processing plants, and the financial derivatives markets that set the price of food. They don't have brands, they don't have faces, they just have food supply. For the dynasties at the top of the pyramid, war has never been a tragedy. It has been a balance sheet. During the American Civil War, the DuPont family supplied 40% of all gunpowder used by Union forces. In the World War I, their profit increased tenfold. In the World War II, they held the gunpowder contracts again. This is not a conspiracy theory. The DuPont family themselves describe it as being in the right business at the right time. And then there is Onassis' story. Aristotle Onassis, the Greek shipping magnate, built his tanker fleet during World War II. While the Allied and Axis navies decimated each other's merchant fleet, Onassis reportedly navigated neutral flag and strategic relationships to emerge from the war with one of the world's largest private shipping empire. These families did not start wars. They simply made sure that when war started, they were the ones holding the contracts. Physical control of resources was the 20th century. Digital control of behavior is the 21st. In 2013, Edward Snowden revealed that NSA PRISM's program gave US government direct access to servers at Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Yahoo, and more. The data of billions of people surveilled, stored, and analyzed. Since then, the architecture has only deepened. Every transaction you make, every search you run, every location pin you drop, it flows into a database somewhere. And now more than 130 countries are researching or piloting central bank digital currencies, CBDCs. Unlike cash, a CBDC is programmable. It can be turned off. It can be restricted to certain purchases. It can expire. The families of 19th century captured oil and grain. The institutions of 21st century are building the infrastructure to capture the behavior itself. The pyramid does not stay standing because of forces. It stays standing because of dependency. Every time you buy from the same four companies, you eat from the same dozen food conglomerate, bank with the same institution that hold your government's debt, you are a voluntary, load-bearing stone in that pyramid. The antidote is not revolution, it's consciousness. Gandhi didn't defeat the British Empire with weapons. He stopped buying their clothes. He started making his own salt. He withdrew consent from the system. One purchase, one choice, one decision at a time. You do not need to own the world to change it. You only need to understand who does.